Welcome to Black House Tales. Let's begin our story. The Smiths had finally found their dream home. After months of searching, they stumbled upon a beautiful old Victorian house nestled in the quiet countryside. It was perfect for them and their two young children. But as soon as they moved in, strange things began to happen. The children would wake up in the middle of the night, screaming about the black-eyed kids who had come to visit them. The Smiths dismissed it as a child's imagination, but soon they would learn that the children's terror was all too real. Late one night, Mr. Smith was working in his home office when he heard a knock on the door. He went to answer it, but as soon as he opened the door, he was greeted by two strange children with completely black eyes. Mr. Smith tried to close the door, but the children's otherworldly strength overpowered him. They pushed their way into the house, and Mr. Smith was powerless to stop them. The Smiths soon discovered that the children were not alone. They were part of a larger group, all with the same black eyes and eerie demeanor. The children would appear out of nowhere, watching the family from a distance, their dark eyes seeming to bore into their souls. The family soon realized that the children had otherworldly powers. They could move objects with their minds, and they seemed to be able to control the family's thoughts and emotions. The Smiths were constantly on edge, never sure when the children would strike. As the weeks went by, the family began to deteriorate. Mrs. Smith became withdrawn and paranoid, while Mr. Smith started to drink heavily to cope with the stress. The children's power was too much for them to handle, and they felt as if they were slowly losing their minds. One night, the family woke up to find the children standing at the foot of their beds. They were all chanting in unison, their black eyes gleaming in the darkness. The family was paralyzed with fear, and they knew that the children's otherworldly power was too strong for them to resist. Suddenly, the children stopped chanting, and their eyes turned white. The family felt a rush of relief wash over them as they realized that the children had finally left. But their relief was short-lived. The children had not left at all. They had merely transcended to another plane of existence, and now they were more powerful than ever. The family knew that they had to leave the house immediately, but it was too late. The children's otherworldly power had already consumed them, and they were doomed to a fate worse than death. As the family lay in their beds, their minds and bodies under the control of the black-eyed children, they realized that they had made a terrible mistake. They had moved into a house that was not meant for them, and now they would pay the ultimate price. They would forever be trapped in a nightmare world ruled by the black-eyed children. Years later, a new family moved into the house, unaware of its dark past. The Smiths' ghost still haunted the house, warning the new family of the black-eyed children and the horrors that awaited them. But the new family did not listen, and they soon fell victim to the same fate as the Smiths. The black-eyed children were always watching, waiting for their next victims to move in. And they would never stop haunting the house, luring in new families with their otherworldly power and leaving behind a trail of terror and despair. The black-eyed children were a force to be reckoned with, and they would continue to reign over the house for years to come, feeding off the fear and misery of those who dared to enter their realm. I hope you enjoyed this story. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.